Hi students, today you're going to get to do some printmaking. If you are somebody who finished carving your stamp last time, you would be ready to print with it today. Your work area might look something kind of like mine. I have this red paper set up on my table. That is meant to get messy. That's just there to keep your table clean. On top of it, I have this green sheet of paper, which will be the place where I will set my completed prints when they are done. I'm going to remember to put my name on that, so that way all of my completed prints will just sit there on that green paper that has my name on it, and I won't have to put my name on the individual prints that I create. You will also have a tray of ink with a roller. These rollers can also be called brayers, but I'll be calling it a roller in this video. And then of course your stamp. So when you're ready to start printing, first of all, your setup should look something kind of like this. Now this tray, I'll try to get a little closer there so you can see it, has some gobs of ink already on it, so I need to roll those in. Now when you first start rolling, if you just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you won't really spread the ink around enough. And you can see how it's all gobbed onto the roller there. We want even coverage. So for that reason, I like to go different directions. And I like to actually lift up and set down my roller. Now, do you hear that sound? Listen for that sound. Kind of sounds like Velcro. If you can't hear it, it's pretty quiet, but it is there. When you hear that Velcro sound, that tells you you're ready to print. And you'll notice the ink is on there sort of thick, but not too thick. Okay, I'm going to give that a try. Now, the cool thing about printmaking is once an artist creates one stamp, then that artist can create multiple prints from it. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So now I'm doing my inking on the messy red part of my table. Now you'll notice I just kind of pushed it across there a few times. There's a few spots where you can see that the top of my stamp is still missed, but what I'm enjoying seeing is that the part where I carved away is staying the color of the stamp. That's exactly how I want it. Now sometimes just to be consistent and even with my coverage, I like to approach it from a couple different directions. Now just so you know, you're not applying a lot of pressure. You really are just letting that roller roll across the stamp. Okay, so I feel pretty good about that coverage there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that up. And you can see I drew an elephant on the other side of mine too. I'm going to line that up on my paper. The stamp should be just a little bit smaller than your paper, so it gives us a nice border. I could have done a better job of lining that up. You'll see my border isn't totally even around, but again, this is why we get multiple shots at this. Now, I like to print on the, or I like to rub on the paper side. I'm just giving that a gentle rub. If you press too hard on that soft block linoleum, you will warp the shape of the stamp and the image. So hold it in place with one hand so it doesn't smush and smear around. Let's take a look at it. Okay, I peel it. Overall, a pretty clean print. I'm going to set that up there. Now, the good news is you kind of have a base layer of ink there. I'm just going to show you what you can do with that now that you've done one print. You can see that the speed of this picks up pretty good once you get going. Ooh, now I have that good Velcro sound. So one of the benefits of printmaking is that once an artist has put in that work of creating the stamp, then they can create multiple prints from that stamp. You could really do unlimited prints as long as you're taking good care of your stamp. So last time I set the stamp on top of the paper. This time I'm just going to try it the opposite way. I'm going to try setting the paper on top of the stamp. There actually is no wrong way to do that. But one thing you have to be careful about is once the two make contact, you can't lift it up and try to reposition it because you're going to smear your image. So again, very gently, I just put both hands on top, Just trying to apply a little bit of pressure to the back. I'm really not pressing all that hard. I'm just trying to make sure that the paper is making nice even contact with the stamp. I'm trying to touch it in every corner, every section in the middle. Okay. Peel it. All right, so two pretty quality prints there, I'd say. If you can make 2 today, that's an excellent goal for today. If you think you have time for more, that's great. Now let me show you what can happen sometimes if people rush themselves. Now, I just printed with this stamp. If I was like, hey, I bet I can get a bonus print out of that. That's true, you can, but we call those ghost prints in the biz, in the printmaking biz, because you will notice that it won't be quite as dark as the other ones. Whereas if you just take the time to roll one more light layer of ink on it, you will get a nice print. So I'm expecting this one to be a little lighter. Yep, there you have a ghost print. Still looks decent. It's not terrible, but it certainly looks different than the rest, right? If you get a print that doesn't turn out perfectly, still keep it with the group. There's no need to throw these away. In a couple of days, we'll go through your prints and let you pick out your best ones, and we'll make a final work of art with it, okay? So I hope that gives you kind of a nice basic overview of printing. Here are the things to remember. The green paper has your name on it. It is your clean area. The red paper at your table, that is your messy area. Mr. Anderson is the person who applies ink. If you need ink, raise your hand to get my attention. That Velcro sound, that's what you want to hear. And then take your time. Faster is not better with printmaking. Slow and steady wins this race, okay? And then you'll be enjoying some printmaking. Okay, thank you, students.